Hello? Hello? This is an SOS message from Foss Station. Urgent assistance required. We're located about 570 feet beneath the surface of the Atlantic. The other crew members are missing, presumed dead, and the two of us that remain have severely limited power and supplies, and there's something in here with us. We don't know what it is. We haven't seen it, but it's coming for us. We have it trapped in the habitation zone. We're currently holding a fortress in the comms room. We have no weapons in here and no way out. There's our door to the rest of the base and a supply cupboard with an airlock. We can't use the airlock because the life pods are offline, and so it would just blast us out into the open ocean. We can barely access the rest of the base. Every time we leave to get supplies, we risk that thing finishing us off. I don't know how much longer we can survive this. Please, help us.
Radio message sending in 4, 3, 2, 1.
For God's sake, Todd, you need to stop doing this.
We've got to try. There's got to be someone else out there. There has to be.
No, there isn't.
But we have to try. We have to.
How many times do I need to tell you there is nothing? No one out there.
But
there are no charted territories for at least 850 miles. We're not underneath any major shipping lanes, and we haven't had updates from the surface in 7 weeks. This station is falling apart. We don't have enough power for you to be sending a distress signal every other day to nowhere.
There are people out there. I know there are.
Todd, I know it's hard. It's not exactly easy for me either. Yes, I know people have died. But we're doing okay. You and me, we make a good team. As soon as we find a way out of this, we're getting out. But in the meantime, we have to be smart. That means we can't just be using the power for no reason. Okay?
Yeah. Do you think we're already dead?
Jesus, Todd.
No. Stay with me on this one. What if you died, okay, and then forgot everything about your death? Then the afterlife is just like real life. What if we've just forgotten that we died and crossed over? Regan, this is the afterlife.
Todd.
Which means we can't die, which means us being trapped here is all an illusion. Does that mean we're in hell? That doesn't seem very fair. We weren't that bad.
Look, why don't you try and get some sleep?
No time for sleep. There's an irony there, isn't there? Everyone says, plenty of time for sleep when you're dead. Well, as it turns out, now that I'm dead, I don't want to sleep. I want to get out of it. I want to get out of it. Get me out! Get me out! Get me out! Get me out!
Easy. It's okay. Just breathe. Breathe for me, Todd. Sit down. Come on, that's it. Computer, give us some music, please.
Our selection of music has been specially curated to ensure relaxation and calm. Any alterations to this playlist will not be tolerated.
Listen to the music. You're safe. You're alright. Breathe. Do you still think you're dead?
No. Even hell wouldn't be this bad. Besides, you're a lot worse than I am. There's no way we'd end up in the same place. Well, that didn't take very long, did it? 5 minutes into your watch and I've already had a breakdown.
This has all the hallmarks of a perfect day. Feeling a bit better?
I'll be fine.
You okay?
Yeah, just got this stabbing pain right in the back of my head. Can't quite shift it.
Yeah. Me too. It's what happens from living off artificial oxygen for 6 years. Have you got any tea rations left?
Yeah, one or two. I'll make some in a bit.
I'll have to do a supply run soon. I'll pick you up some more.
No, It's my turn to go down, I'll manage. Besides, I'm sick of looking at these screens. It's not like I'll be sleeping anytime soon.
Well, if you're sure.
Yeah.
You don't need to keep checking the door, Todd. You know that thing out there can't hurt you. So to way down in habitation, nothing can get out of those doors, so you're safe, as long as you're careful.
This is what the others said before they went down and then never came back.
And that's not to say that this thing killed them. This base is huge, and more importantly, it's falling to bits. They could just as easily have been flaring cables or floor panels giving out.
You're right, I feel a lot safer now.
Look, all I'm trying to say is that if you're sensible about this, if you don't let fear get the better of you, we're both going to be fine. Did you hear that?
What?
Computer, switch off that music.
Are you sure you would like to?
Yes, stop the music. Did you check the doors before you sent this stress call? Tell me quickly, did you?
I don't remember.
Computer, seal that door.
Confirmed. Door seal in operation.
What were you thinking leaving that thing unlocked?
But it can't have been me, I didn't go through there.
Oh, it didn't just do it on its own.
What? You think I just forgot?
Well, if anyone was going to.
Piss off, Regan. It's obviously just the computer.
Oh, you think so?
Computer, register fault with door C609.
There is no fault. Door functioning normally.
Computer, register the last person to use door C609.
Accessing. Cannot confirm.
That doesn't make sense.
Nothing on this base makes any sense.
What if it's that thing out there?
Can't be.
But what if it...
Okay. If it'll shut you up, I'll prove.
Door open.
What are you doing?
Back in a sec.
Regan?
Door sealed.
What are you doing? Get back here! Regan? Regan? Good joke. Very funny now. Now get back in here. Regan? Come on, this isn't funny.
Door open.
Oh, you arsehole.
Door sealed.
Nothing out there. We're fine. Were you going to hit me with a lamp?
You could have been anything. You were gone for ages.
Just relax.
Don't tell me to relax, Regan. Coming across all calm when you know you're just as scared as me. You're the one hearing things at the door.
What do you mean? We both heard it.
I didn't hear anything at the door. It's just you, isn't it? Just making this up to try and scare me. It's like my first day all over again. Just save the apologies. I'm getting supplies. I'll be back in a bit.
Door open.
Todd,
What is it?
come back alive.
I'll try.
Door sealed.
God help us.
Please pay attention to the following safety announcements. The underwater conditions can lead to an increased likelihood of physical or mental strain, so ensure to take regular breaks to combat this.
Todd? Todd, are you up? Todd, are you there? Computer, shut that music off. Hello?
Regan,
Who is that? Where are you?
I'm here, Regan. I'm all around you.
Where? Why can't I see you?
Because you're not looking hard enough. I'm right here. I'm close enough to touch you.
Computer, what's happening?
How can I help, Officer Regan?
Computer, tell me how many life forms are on board this base. Full scan, include everything.
Processing. This may take a few moments. Results confirmed. There are 2 life forms on board this base.
Okay. Must just be going a bit mad then.
It's alright to go mad sometimes, just as long as we don't make a habit out of it.
Are you talking to me now?
Just try and relax, Regan. This is all perfectly normal. Given your current situation, who can blame you for imagining things like this?
Wait, hold on. You're an imaginary voice telling me that you're an imaginary voice.
Best not to get too bogged down in the finer details. Just think of it as an opportunity to have someone to talk to.
As long as Todd makes it back, I have someone to talk to.
But not about everything.
What do you mean?
Well, does Todd know, for instance, what you've been doing on the side while you've been on board this base?
How can you possibly know about that?
Well, I know what you know. Don't get yourself so worked up. Your secret is safe with you.
Just leave me alone. The thoughts in my head don't need company from you.
Well, if you insist. I can't stay long anyway.
Oh, really? And why is that?
Because she is coming. She has waited an eternity, and finally, tonight, she will return to us.
Who will? Who is she?
She has no name. She breathes the filth and the decay of this world. She is growing each day in strength. And she has arrived.
Who are you? Turn around slowly and face me. Open broadcast. Transmit on all radio channels across Foss Station. Security has been breached. There's a creature, something has entered the base. I can't get a good look at it. It's moving around the room. It's like it's feeling its way around, like it's blind. Its skin is covered in oil or dirt, so I'm guessing it's come from outside. I need you to identify yourself. My name is Regan. I'm one of the engineers here. Can you understand me? Can you tell me who you are?
I know who you are, Officer Regan.
Just turn and face me. Show me that you mean no harm.
Why would I mean you harm? You who have done so little, yet harbor so much guilt.
Just tell me who you are. Did you come from outside in the water?
Not water. Not anymore. Black. All darkness. The rain burns. The tides don't flow anymore. Silence. A whole world decimated. Our people couldn't cope against the rise of such reckless hate.
You mean the oceans? And what happened to them?
You did this to us.
Look, if it's the company you're angry about, I understand.
Hundreds and hundreds of years.
You don't have to do anything rash, we can just talk.
You poison and you spread, and you call this world yours.
What world?
Everything around you. The ocean is our world. I have seen it grow and life spread within it. But you bring nothing but death.
What do you mean? The ocean doesn't belong to anyone.
It was our home! And you destroyed it. This place, what is it for?
We're a salvage base. Were a salvage base. We weren't doing anything to harm anyone. We're just taking polluted water, treating it and refining it so we can use it as fuel.
And then came the monster.
You know about that. What is it?
It is a vile shade, and it will consume everything.
So why are we still alive?
I suppose you could say it's playing with its food.
So what are you here for?
Vengeance. For my kind and for my family. And where better to start than you?
What does that mean?
I know what you are. What you've done to keep your secret. And I am here to make sure that the creature in your cellar gives you everything that you have coming to you.
What about Todd?
Your colleague.
He said I would suffer. I'm not too keen on that myself, but we'll see what happens there. But Todd's done nothing wrong. Please, don't let us both suffer on account of my mistakes.
Officer Regan, trust me when I tell you that you will suffer. And Todd will fly.
Regan, let me in.
Todd?
Regan, I'm outside. You've got to let me in.
Door open.
Get in, quick.
Door sealed.
Catch your breath. It's alright, you're safe. Did you see it?
See what?
That thing, it would have just passed you. The creature that broke in, I told you about it over the radio.
I didn't hear anything on the radio.
Okay. One problem at a time. Did you get the supplies?
All here. Oh God, I've never run so fast.
Come on, catch your breath. Let's stop.
There's something else.
What is it?
The main generator it's in a bad way.
What do you mean?
I passed it on the way down to storage. It looked like it's been ripped apart. I don't understand. I mean, with that much damage, I don't know how we're still able to keep the lights on.
That doesn't make sense. The computer would have told us if there was a fault.
I know the computer.
A computer. Status update on the base's main generator.
All generator drives are functioning at maximum capacity.
Listen to me. I know what I saw. We have to fix it or this whole place might go up.
What kind of damage?
What?
On the generator. Do you know what could have caused it?
Couldn't say. Maybe it was the creature before we trapped it. Maybe it was one of our crewmates going slightly mad, taking it out on the generator and killing themselves in the process.
Did you get anything to drink from storage?
I'm guessing you mean more than just water. Yes. Why?
Because that pain in my head still hasn't gone away. And we might not be as alone as we think. Before I explain, I think we could both do with a drink.
There is no need to fear for your safety while on Voss Station. The hull is composed of titanium dwarf star alloy. Nothing from outside the base can penetrate this. In the event of a hull breach, run.
So what did it look like?
She has this sort of hollow look. Like there was an eternity behind her eyes.
What is it?
I didn't feel scared. I mean, obviously it freaked me out, but it was almost like something I had seen before.
You mean on the base?
Yeah? What is it, Tom?
When you described her, it was almost... It's like what you said. I wasn't surprised. It didn't shock me. Like you were describing something I'd already seen. Half remembered. Like a dream.
You think it's been on the base a while then?
Possibly. And there's more than that. Crew members going back 5-6 tours had been talking about weird lights outside the observation deck. They were always just legends, horror stories for us to tell on night shift. What if there was some kind of truth to them?
There are rumours like that on every base. Doesn't make them true.
What about the shadows then?
No, that really is superstition because it's impossible.
The lights, Regan. There were shadows in the lights outside the station. For a split second maybe, but they're there. I've seen them, everyone has seen them. In all your time here, surely you must have as well.
Possibly. I couldn't say.
But we're safe in here. As long as the power holds, we can patch up the generator in the morning. Makes it easier to move around the base.
Good plan. What is this that I'm drinking, by the way?
This is the finest non-alcoholic alcohol that Voss Station has to offer. We are talking at least 0.5%.
Not exactly what we need right now. Here, try this.
What is it?
A little taste of home. Tell me what you think.
Is this contraband?
Why are you whispering?
In case someone finds out.
Think about this one, Todd. Who is going to find out? There we are.
Oh, that's not bad. Can I have some more?
Yeah, just take it slowly.
Where did you get a hold of this?
I did a favour for someone. In return, they managed to get it on board.
What kind of favour? Something wild and outrageous?
You know, there's things I've done on this job. I mean, it's difficult. You do a job like this for as many years as I have, and start to get bored. And that's no excuse, I know.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, was it, that kind of favour?
What? No. Whoa. It was not that kind of favour.
I wouldn't blame you. I don't hold it against anyone.
Todd, it was not that.
Oh, you keep your deep, dark past to yourself, and I'm sure we'll get along just fine from here on in. Just, don't expect any favours.
Wait, did you touch something?
I didn't do anything. Computer situation report. Computer.
Shit.
Guess the generator couldn't hold out until the morning then. I thought emergency power was supposed to be better than this.
This isn't emergency power, we're still using the main generator.
I don't understand.
Well, if the generator ever gives out, we have an emergency backup that lasts about 24 hours that gives us time to repair whatever fault there is with the system, but this isn't emergency power. Which means that this is all the power that the main generator is able to give out in the state that it's in. I don't know how long it could last. The generator goes at this level, it'll be too quick for us to reroute the power through the backup generators. And with the computer down, we would have to do it manually. We lose that, we lose everything. Lights, heating, even the air supply is electronically monitored.
We've got to repair it as soon as possible. Let me get some kind of backup here. I'll try and manually override the main system to run entirely through here. Vocal commands are down, but I can still input basic commands through here. If we're lucky, God, why is everything on this base so cheap? Well, let there be light. Which reminds me, we need to switch off any non-essential lighting, and all temperature control needs to go into stopping the generator from overheating, so it's going to get a bit chilly in here.
What about the hardware? You said the generator's been ripped apart. At the very least, we've got to switch the base over to auxiliary power.
Too risky to do it from here. I mean, it would mean going down there and doing it by hand.
Okay. Do you know how to reroute a generator that size?
Unfortunately, you don't teach the heavy-duty mechanics to the medical staff. Do you?
Can I say no?
Not if you want to get out of this alive.
Guess I'm going down there then. Quick question.
What?
Where is it?
In the engineering bay. You're an engineer and you don't know where the engineering bay is without looking on a map.
Look, I've never had to do mass repair work on the generator before. Besides, I just followed everyone else.
Oh, alright, I can guide you over the intercom.
But we need the generator for the radio.
Different frequency, uses barely any power anyway. We're doing this the old-fashioned way. Now, I can get your tools from the storeroom on this floor, but after that you're on your own, I'm afraid.
I suppose I can live with that.
I'll be on the radio. Just...
What?
Nothing. Doesn't matter. I'll be back in a minute. I'll just find you a map.
Hello, Regan.
Computer? Oh wait, are you the computer in my head?
Afraid so.
Why am I still talking to you? I know you're not real. You're not even my conscience. There's absolutely no moral angle to you. I'm saying you like you're real.
Getting a bit jumpy, are we?
What do you want?
Well, I heard you were heading down into engineering. Thought that I'd take this opportunity when we're alone to tell you not to lose your head.
Hang on a second. A computer that's not being supplied any power is talking to me, and only me, and telling me that I shouldn't go mad.
Yes, I do rather appreciate the irony. Nevertheless, I thought it would be best to make you aware. You know what people can get like when they're scared. There's all sorts of pitfalls someone of your disposition could easily fall into. Anyway, best be off. If you do find yourself straying from the straight and narrow down there, just remember, you're your own worst enemy when you're scared. Talk soon.
Everything alright?
Oh, and best not to tell Todd about this little encounter. No need to frighten the poor thing.
Everything's fine. See you on the other side, Todd.
Don't.
What?
Nothing.
Stop saying that, just tell me.
Don't die. I just don't want to be on my own.
I'll do what I can.
Smoking and drinking are strictly prohibited on Voss Station. Any violation of this will be met with severe consequences. However, ensure to drink filtered water to combat dehydration.
Okay, Regan. Do you copy?
Copy. Descending into the engineering bay via corridor C609.
What can you see? Anything?
Nothing yet. No signs of anything having changed, it's just dark.
Okay. You should be coming up to a ladder. You need to go down 2 floors and then left at the end of that corridor.
Okay.
What's your happiest memory?
We are not doing this.
Come on. It's good to get to know each other.
We do know each other. What the hell is that you still want to know?
Your happiest memory.
Pass.
Don't worry, I'll go first.
Did you only ask me so you can talk about your happiest memory?
Shh. I'm thinking.
I can just mute you. I'm more than happy to do that.
I just thought, a bit of positive thinking might help, given the situation.
Alright then, Todd. Tell me about your happiest memory.
Well, it was some time before all this, that's for certain. Suppose There was a time before I trained in the dredging business, back when I used to see daylight and breathe actual air.
Probably more air down here than up there.
Right. Well, my mum was an oxygen farmer. Had these huge patches of land that we lived on as a family. Stretched for miles. You could just about see the sun rise through the smoke clouds, and everything you touched just felt a bit more real. A lot of things happened for me on those oxygen fields. Learned how to pilot a driftboard. Had my first kiss.
How was it?
Not the worst, to be honest.
So is your mum still there? On your old oxygen field?
No, we lost the oxygen fields years ago. They burnt back in 88. Solar flares just ripped them down. Nothing anyone could do. Part of us all died that day.
I thought this was supposed to be your happiest memory.
I know. It just stops being so black and white after a while. Nothing's ever just happy or sad. There's always conditions to it. Anyway, how about you? I've given you more than enough time to think about it. Also, where are you?
I've just been walking down the same corridor. You never told me to stop.
Oh, for God's sake. Are you on a corridor with a load of doors, each of which have different numbers on them?
Yeah.
Okay, you're in the dredging section. You can cut through at door B035 if you can see it.
B035. Right, I think I can get there.
Good. So...
Oh, why does it matter so much to you?
Well, it occurs to me I actually don't know that much about you. I know you're an engineer. I know you've worked here for, 3 years?
6 years.
6 years, right. But other than that, I don't exactly know you.
Well, what do you want to know?
Just what kind of person you are. Where you grew up. What you did for fun whilst working here. I don't even know your first name.
I grew up in a small corner of the world that no one remembers, and quite frankly, I don't think it exists anymore. I don't have a first name, and I didn't do anything for fun on this base.
Well, I know that's a lie.
What do you mean?
All that time you spent down at the cargo hold for one thing, that's not exactly your jurisdiction.
How did you know about that?
Well, as medical officer, I always thought it helped to know where everyone on the base was at any one time. I always check the system. You seem to be logged into the cargo hold most of the time. Was it gambling with some of the other guys or something? I know Kennedy wasn't keen on it, so... Regan?
About the generator.
That's great. How's it looking?
It's a mess, that's for certain. This isn't just everyday wear and tear.
Can you fix it?
I think so, yeah, easily enough. Hang on, nearly got it shifted.
All good? Because I've not got any power through yet. Regan?
I'm gonna have to switch off the power to do this.
Okay. Well, we can just hold our breath and live on torchlight whilst you switch it over. Surely it won't take more than 10-15 seconds just to reroute it manually.
Switching off everything means the doors are going to release.
What's wrong with that? I can just manually lock this door from the inside.
It means letting that creature loose.
Shit.
I can't do this.
You have to. Otherwise, what chance do either of us have on no power at all? It's going to be okay. You've got a good distance on it. You'll be fully lit on the way back. Just focus on your route. Be fast. Don't stop for anything, and you'll be safe before you know it.
Okay. Things are going to go dark and we'll drop out of contact whilst I'm making the changeover.
I'll keep trying the SOS until you're back.
Of course you will.
Good luck, Regan.
Thanks. Transferring in 3, 2, 1.
Regan, do you copy?
Should you witness any lights in the waters outside the station, do not panic. There is nothing there.
Regan? Are you there? Regan?
The radio must have flared up when the power came back on.
Regan? Hello?
Excuse me?
Who are you? What do you want?
I'm sorry. I was lost and I just needed someone to talk to, but... And then I realised that there was no one left. So I hid. I don't know how long I was in there for, but...
Okay, I'm going to need you to take some deep breaths. Calm yourself down. Now, once you're calm, I need you to tell me who you are and how you got on this base.
I'm sorry. I was in the cargo hold. I'm not supposed to be here.
What happened to your hand? It looks burnt. Are you alright?
It's nothing. I don't want to be any trouble, except...
What is it?
You're the medical officer on this base, aren't you?
How did you know that?
I recognised your face from the duty roster downstairs.
Let me patch up that hand for you. And while I'm doing this, you can tell me what happened to you.
I'd been brought on board by some men.
Which men?
Crewmen. It wasn't supposed to be a permanent stop here. But soon after I arrived, all the power started to drop and people started...
It's alright. You're safe here. We've got the creature contained, just need to contact the outside world, and then we'll be safe. What did you mean when you say you were stopping here? Non-company freighters aren't allowed to dock on board, and you don't strike me as a dredger.
Not supposed to be here.
Well, I can't say you're seeing this base at the best of times. A lot of things are happening, neither of us can quite explain it.
What do you mean?
Welcome to Foss Station, your very own ocean paradise.
Well, there's that for one thing.
You might want to get that looked at. Well, what's wrong?
Regan said there was something that broke on board, some kind of creature. Is that you? Have you been lying to me?
What? No, I haven't done anything wrong.
I can't trust you.
Regan? Regan?
Shit!
Todd, I know that we've only just met and you have absolutely no reason to believe a thing I say. But you strike me as someone who is good and kind, so please listen to me.
Okay.
I've been on this base for a long time now. I've seen things. I've seen Regan tell lie after lie after lie. There are no monsters on this base, no creatures coming in from the water. It's all a lie. Even the computer, the lights, everything, all of it. It's Regan.
That's ridiculous.
It's not. I'm sorry, please. Just trust me, Todd.
What about the other crew members?
Todd, open the door and let me in.
Please. You have to believe me.
Did Regan have something to do with you coming on board?
Todd, let me in.
I'm sorry, I didn't want any trouble.
Todd!
Okay, I just need some time to try and work this out. Get inside the storage cupboard and lock the door. Regan won't think of looking for you in there. I promise, just try and keep quiet.
Door to supply cupboard open.
Please don't tell him about me.
I won't.
You're a good person, Todd. Thank you.
Door to supply cupboard sealed.
I'm here, Regan. Unlocking the door now.
Door open. Door sealed.
We need to get off this base. And I think I've worked out how.
Life pods are offline for the foreseeable future. If evacuation is necessary in this time, the Voss Corporation will gladly reimburse you for any injury or tragic loss of life.
Just spell it out for me as simply as possible. Please refrain from using large words, complicated jargon, or from just being too excitable.
The generator, that big energy supplier that powers our base.
Yes, I know that bit, thank you.
Okay, well, it has what's called a Steinheimer box on it.
Right. And what is a Steinheimer box?
Essentially, it's like a black box that sends all the data to Voss Enterprises if it goes offline. If the generator were to fall off the grid, the company would have to send down a salvage team to extract the box as a matter of principle.
So how are we going to get the generator off the grid?
So this is the tricky bit.
Oh, we're only now getting to the tricky bit.
We would have to switch off all the power. Everything. The lights, the air supply, the temperature controls, all of it.
How the hell are we going to survive long enough for a rescue team to come in and get us?
Okay, I've thought about this. We've got torches, we've got oxygen canisters to last us about 3 weeks altogether. That's more than enough time for someone to come and get us out of here.
And the containment field? Switching off the power means we lose the containment field, and that thing in habitation will be roaming loose all over the base. We don't know if it can survive that oxygen. We don't know the first thing about it. What if it comes up here?
We have manual clamps.
Oh, well, that's it. Whoa, fantastic. Manual clamps. That will save us from being torn apart by the thing that killed everything else on this base.
Well, it's worked so far against that thing down there.
We don't even know it's trapped. We just locked the doors and hoped, Regan. That's literally the only thing that's helping us right now. And suppose we stay long enough to get rescued. What then? What happens to that thing out there? This can't work. We're not putting anyone else in danger.
Well, we need to get out of here.
You want to get out of here so badly? Just pop yourself off out the airlock and see how quickly you float 600 feet to the surface. Because that's the only way either of us is going to leave.
Oh, well then maybe it should be you, since you're so keen to get as far away from here as possible.
Well, you're going to put me in there yourself.
Oh, and what's that supposed to mean?
There's something you're not telling me, Regan. And you're doing a god-awful job at trying to hide it. What the hell have you been doing on this base?
Look, there is no point to going into it.
Isn't there? Because as far as I'm concerned, that until you can be honest with me about this, I can't trust you as far as I can spit! Ah!
Are you alright? What's wrong with your head? Todd!
I'm fine! Now, you know what? If there's even the slightest hope of getting out of here, I'm all for it. But right now, I don't trust you with anything. I'm going to go down to the generator and see this Steinheimer box for myself. Then, and only then, will we make a decision to shut off the power.
Door open.
And this door stays open until I'm back.
Just you and me then, Regan. experience a computer malfunction, please do not attempt to rectify the issue yourselves. A representative from Voss Corporation will be dispatched quickly to ensure that the base is operating at maximum efficiency. So, just for the record, let me go over what you're suggesting. You want to switch off all power on the base in the vain hope that your bosses on the mainland might finally notice you, send a rescue craft and save you from the terrible fate that awaits you.
Yes.
Would you like to know the odds of this plan failing?
No.
It's high.
I don't care.
It's very high.
What do you want?
Well, it seems like your only friend on this base has upped and left you alone here. So, as promised, I'm on hand to help.
And how exactly do you propose to do that?
Just some friendly advice, that's all. You need to come clean.
You're out of your mind. If you had a mind. Shut that music off.
Don't get smart, Regan. If you want to survive this, you can't do it on your own. You need Todd. And to have Todd on your side, he needs to be able to trust you. Tell him the truth. Make him understand, and then you both might have a chance of making it off of this base.
And what part should I tell him about first? Maybe about how I found out that my crewmates, my friends, were supporting a smuggling racket that used this base as a pit stop because no one but pirates would ever dream of travelling across this part of the ocean. Or should I tell him that when I went to try and do the right thing, tell someone with seniority about it, they already knew? Which meant I had to go along with it, despite the fact that everyone in on the operation hated my guts and would never trust me because I did the right thing. Or how about when I found out what they were actually transporting on those rigs? When one of those things broke out, and I watched as my rig's captain shot them down and no one else raised an eye. What do you think? Maybe there's an easier way to ease Todd into it.
Well, only one way to find out.
What is it, Regan?
Did you do this?
He needs to be told.
What's going on?
Nothing, it's fine. What the hell do you think that's going to achieve?
Well, it might just get the two of you talking.
Oh, no, I'm done with you. I'm going in here. Might finally get some peace from you.
Entry to supply cupboard unauthorized.
What are you doing? Let me in.
I wish I could tell you this was me. I'm just as surprised as you are.
You saying Todd locked me out of here?
It would seem like it.
Todd, have you locked me out of the supply cupboard?
I'll explain it when I'm back.
Or you could just explain it now.
I'm not going into it. Until I know I can trust you, I'm not letting you in there.
Why?
Tell him.
Why wouldn't you let me in there, Todd?
Tell him the truth, Regan.
Shut up!
What did you just say?
Nothing.
Is there someone else there, Regan?
It's raining on the surface, you know. Filth and acid pouring from the skies and laying to rest miles above our head. And I can feel it. Every drop.
What are you doing here?
Your friend locked me in there. Not that it was any problem to me.
You've seen Todd. Todd's seen you.
He didn't mention it. My, such loyalty for someone he barely knows.
What did you say to him?
I passed myself off as one of those poor things you and your crewmates were smuggling. And Todd's starting to put it all together. It won't take him too long. Oh, and he's also under the impression that you're responsible for all of these nefarious deeds. You know, the dead crew, the dodgy computer. Sorry, I do get so carried away.
What do you get out of being so evil?
Everyone is either a hero or a villain to you, aren't they? No grey area whatsoever. Either someone is good and deserves to live, or is evil and doesn't. Incredible, then, that this logic applies to absolutely everyone except yourself.
What do you mean?
I mean, look at you. I have never experienced anyone who is so holier than thou, while simultaneously finding themselves so utterly contemptible. You claim to show remorse and regret for what you've done, but make no effort to make any changes to yourself. You spent your whole life believing that you belong in some kind of hell. And now, here we are. And it's still not enough for you. When are you ever going to learn that this ridiculous martyrdom is pointless? Because it will never end. And that's on you.
Then here's me thinking you didn't care what happened to us.
Of course I care. I care so deeply.
Why?
Let me tell you a story, Regan. And then maybe you'll think twice about how much of a villain I really am. This world has been poisoned by you. All of you. Filling our world with your bile and your filth. As you grow and multiply, you made our world your slag heap, pumping your waste here until there was no longer an inch of this ocean left untouched by your decay. My people lived here. We had to adapt to survive. Creatures of the water, we were forced to breathe this poison. And this is what we became. It didn't kill us. No one of us can live for an eternity. But there hasn't been new life amongst my people in over 400 years. The birthing reefs became uninhabitable. So we will die, knowing that we are the last of our kind. I will make that count for something. I remember how the ocean used to be. Great coral reefs spanning miles. Thousands of species all living in harmony. We used to be able to see what was down here. But now, blackness. And out of that darkness, something was born. A shadow that should never have lived is devouring everything in this world. It lives to feed, to survive. The next stage of evolution, and it came from you. And it's what you have trapped in your base. The creature that makes you afraid to go out at night. You can't defeat it. It will take you both. And that is why you will not leave this base alive. But I can't have all three of us together. I've put in too much work to have you spoil things at the end. So if these are the last words that you hear, I want them to mean something. We do not forgive you.
What are you?
If you find your time at Voss Station lacking in meaningful activity, consider taking up a hobby. Knitting or stamp collecting are two prime examples of this.
Look, Regan, I know what I said earlier, but... Regan? Regan! Regan, come on, wake up! What happened, Regan? Stay with me, Regan! Regan! Computer, record for medical log. Officer Regan, I found him unconscious. His pulse is slow, breathing is shallow. He's not responding to any stimuli. Hey, don't panic. Just tell me what happened.
I didn't mean to.
Just take your time.
I was hiding, like you told me. But I thought I should find out for sure if Regan was one of them. So I went to the window to try and look, and he saw me. I must have knocked something over, made a noise. He tried to open the door, but you had locked it. So I walked back and tried not to make a scene. Next thing I knew, the door was unlocked. I don't know how it could have happened. Perhaps he found some way to break in, but I knew he would be coming for me, so I ran. But he was so angry and confused. He tried to grab hold of me. I didn't know what to do. So I pushed him. I don't know what could have happened. He could have fallen and hit his head against the wall. The next thing I knew, he was like this.
Well, he's not dead, but I don't think he'll be waking up for a while. He needs help.
You going to help him?
There's something I need you to tell me first. Did Regan help bring you on board? Did he invent everything that's going on here? Did he sabotage the base? Kill all the crew?
Yes.
I need you to be sure. Are you sure that Regan did this?
Yes.
What are we going to do?
What if I could get us out of here?
You can't.
I could. I know people. People who work in these parts of the world. I could send them a message, an SOS or something.
Even if you could get us out of here, that doesn't sort out what happens to Regan. We can't take him with us. Not after what he's done. And if we leave without him, he could just follow us. If you've got contacts with smugglers, Regan will too.
You didn't think you were so different. You and him. Maybe you're not. After all, you're both just people. People who have done different things, but in the end, just people. You live life by the same unwritten rules of right and wrong, good and bad. So if you all judge yourselves by those same rules, surely you should be able to judge other people. Tell me, Todd, if you had done what Regan had, could you really live with yourself?
No.
So you know what must be done?
Yes.
Good.
If you are feeling distressed or feel unwell, please seek the advice of your station's medical officer. Door to supply cupboard sealed.
Have you made contact?
They'll be here in about half an hour.
Good. That gives me time to...
I can stay and support if you need.
No. I don't want you to see this. I don't want anyone to see this.
We'll both be out of here soon.
Door open.
You're doing the right thing, Todd. Trust me.
Door sealed.
Todd. Todd, can you hear me? What's going on?
You're in the airlock, Regan.
Can you come and let me out?
I put you there, Regan.
Why? What for?
I know what you did on this base. I found one of your victims. She told me everything.
Don't be ridiculous, you can't believe her.
Don't ever tell me what I can and can't believe, Regan. You shipped people like cattle.
No, it wasn't like that.
You got away with it. You actually got away with it for this long, but not anymore. That ends here with me.
Todd, I don't know what you think you're doing, but you've got to calm down right now.
I am sick of being told what to do. Don't pretend that there are rules and laws out there anymore. All we have is each other. And I would rather be alone in this nightmare than share it with you.
Todd, do you really want to do this? Because if you're sure, if you believe what you've been told and you're willing to pass judgment based on that, then I accept whatever punishment you think is yours to give me. I don't think you want to do this. Todd?
I don't even know what side I'm fighting on anymore. It was supposed to be so simple. Grow up. Do the right thing. Treat people with respect. Do your job well. Be happy. But it's not. It's a war. Life's just constantly finding new ways to hurt you and confuse you until there's nothing left of you to call alive or dead. And you become hollow. What's there to be hopeful for when everyone just ends up alone? And I didn't want to be here alone. But at the end... I spent so much of my life wishing I wasn't alone. And I hated being underwater. It feels like I'm suffocating. I don't know why I took this posting. I don't know why I do a lot of things. No, what have I done?
Todd, it's alright. Just try and stay calm.
No, why did I have to go mad, Regan? It's not fair! It's not fair! We always tried to be good. I would never.
You're not a killer, Todd. Let me out and we can talk.
Okay, I'm letting you out now. You're just round the corner. Come and find me. We'll just try and talk.
Okay, Todd. I'll be right there. You can let me in, Todd. I'm not going to hurt you.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're safe. Just unlock the door and let me in.
The door isn't locked.
Todd, get out of there.
Why?
This isn't right. Something's going on. Can you try and open the door? Todd, tell me what you can see. Tell me that you see her.
Door to the communications room secured. I'm sorry, Regan.
What do you mean? What's going on?
An unauthorized presence has been located on Foss Station. This disturbance has been traced to the communications room. In the interest of safety, Stage 3 decontamination procedures will be enacted. The communications room will now be flooded.
Flooded? No! Todd, get out of there! Todd!
Help him.
What?
Help him, Regan. He's dying. He's scared. Help him.
I can't. This isn't fair. I can't do this.
Yes, you can.
Todd, it's okay. I'm here. Listen, you're gonna be alright. I'll get you out of there. It's okay. You're not alone. I'm here.
Door open.
Now, this is our comms room.
Door sealed.
It's on the furthest part of the base, and it's your main source of contact with the outside world. Although, I doubt you'll be seeing too much of it in your time with us. Now, do you have any questions?
I don't think so.
Excellent. Well, Todd, I think that's everything. So, on behalf of the company, I'd like to welcome you to Foss Station.
Thank you, Kennedy. Boss. Sorry.
Not to worry. You'll get used to it.
Commander Kennedy. Situation report. Officer Regan is exhibiting poor medical symptoms. I am sending them to you for evaluation.
Thank you, computer.
You are most welcome.
Sorry, I meant to ask earlier, the computer, is that...
Oh, my voice. Yeah. Perk of the job, if you can call it that. They take a voice print, duplicate it, and then run it through the speaker system. Ergo, in many ways, I am the computer.
Door open.
Hello, Regan. What seems to be the problem?
Sea snake got me while we were cleaning the vents. Nasty creature, not like anything I've ever seen before.
What happened to your arm?
What bit me? Oh, sorry. I don't think we've met. I'm Regan, engineer.
Hi, I'm Todd. Do you need some help with that arm? I am a medic.
Excellent idea. I'll go and see if Morgan needs any help with the solar stacks. Get in touch if you need anything, Todd.
Thanks, boss.
Door sealed.
Okay, Regan. I'm just going to take a look at your arm. Just think happy thoughts.
Oh,
Yeah, it'll hurt. Snake bites will do that.
you've got a great bedside manner.
Well, I haven't had any complaints before. So are these sorts of injuries common down here?
Oh, sure. We'll just be walking around minding our own business when a sea snake or reef fowl will come along and infect us with sedimentary fever or pale syndrome or reverie, and before you know it, we're a skeleton crew in more ways than one.
Well, at least I'll be kept busy. What's reverie?
Sorry?
You said about reverie. I've never heard of it. What is it?
It's just a sprite that lives down here. Nasty thing, but nothing to worry about.
Why do they call it reverie?
It's more of a nickname. People who've been affected by it find themselves hallucinating in a sort of daze or daydream, like a reverie. There are legends stretching back generations saying that the last of the mermaids poured the last of their power into one organism. It wouldn't attack anything it found, it wouldn't turn the oceans to dust. It would just wait. The reverie parasite just needs time to work its way onto the base, then into your head, and then once it's there, it can feast.
Oh, go to hell, no way, is that a real thing?
You were so close to believing it.
Checking in. Is everything going smoothly?
Yeah, it's alright, boss. Just telling the newbie about reverie.
Honestly, Regan, it's not even funny by this point. I apologise to my engineer, Todd.
No worries. I'll get revenge by doing a really bad job on this arm of his.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Regan, where did you say you put the snake after it bit you?
Come again?
The sea snake that bit your arm, where did it go?
Oh, not to worry, we already put it down.
You killed it?
It's dead, yeah. Is that a problem, boss?
It's bad luck to kill a sea snake.
Your chances of survival are estimated to be 1 in 500,000. On a more positive note, there is no rain forecast for the next 3 days.
Hello? Is this thing on? I suppose this is a call for help. My first and probably my last. I'm looking for anyone out there. No. Actually, I'm speaking to you. If anyone is in need of saving right now, it's me. I've been on my own here for a while now. It got me thinking. None of this makes any sense. No bodies of the rest of the crew, a strange creature that neither of us could ever describe, complete loss of contact with the outside world. And then I realised. The reverie parasite. It's a pretty poetic name for about the worst thing to come out of this part of the ocean. They hunt in pairs, each one latching onto a victim and placing them in a shared dreamscape from which they will never escape. They can communicate, they can talk for hours and hours, and only seconds will have passed in the real world. That's what the pain in our head was. parasite. And they keep giving you things to keep you occupied or busy, so you never find time to properly feel it. Now that I've worked it out, I'm a bit stuck. Like when you realise you're in a dream, but can't wake up from it. I don't think I'm getting out of this one. I think I understand now why you chose to take refuge in here. Even after the radio stopped working, and even after we both forgot the radio stopped working, we stayed. I get it. This is the room that's closest to the outside world, to the surface, to civilization. It's probably the only room where you could sit on your own for hours and never feel like you're alone. So I thank you for that. I never liked doing these voice notes. They don't make any sense to me. They always said it was the new way to have a conversation, but it's not. It's just one person rambling on and on until they lose signal or run out of credit, and that's just followed by another recording of indeterminate length trying to answer every aspect of your speech while trying to include their own opinion. Why we made it so easy to be so far away from one another as a species, I'll never understand. Because it just puts us in places like this. I'm never going to be able to see the night sky again. That really pisses me off. I loved stars, not in an obsessive, shitty telescope when I was a kid kind of way, but, you know, a normal amount. 7 or 8 tiny white lights in an ocean of darkness. I'd look up and just think it's so lonely. All of these stars are billions of light years away from us. Billions of light years away from each other. If they could see us, they'd think the same. A blip on the edge of the universe that's visible for a fraction of a day, constantly there, never growing or changing, just there. Alone. It's terrifying. We spent all this time worried that there was something else here, but it's nothing compared to the fear that we might be truly alone. And it's strange, when you stare for long enough, out into the night your eyes start to adjust and those 7 or 8 lights become 15, 20, more. And you imagine how the light is travelling from so far away to reach us, spirally and pirouetting past moons and galaxies at impossible speed to be with us in that one instant. It is the purest magic in the universe. I will never see it again. There's something I should say. I found out how to get us out of here. But it needs 2 of us. I could go on about the ins and outs of this quite brilliant plan, but I won't. Because I'm not leaving without you. You didn't want to die on your own, so I won't leave you now. I've never really been one for speeches, so this, I suppose, is the exception to the rule. I just didn't want to die on my own. So I'm glad that for a moment at least I could imagine you were still here. Send audio message.
Confirmed.
Don't talk. Just send it.
Why don't you want me to talk, Regan?
You killed my friend.
I didn't kill Todd. The parasite that was in his head finally killed him. Just like the one in yours will at some point soon.
Shut up. I don't need you.
Don't be unkind, Regan. Please.
Why should you care?
Because I think I'm the only part of you left that still does care about you, Regan. Please. After all this, at the end of everything, please don't shut me out.
What do we do now?
We rest. We hope. We dream. Dream of a future with no villains, no hatred. We dream of escaping this place, leaving the filth behind us and setting up in a new world. A world of oceans that stretch beyond our comprehension, clear and rich and healthy. Of a place where everyone is kind. Not because it's expected or for recognition, just because it's kind. A better place.
It's what you deserve, Regan.
It's what we deserve.
All of us.
Thank you, Todd.
For station. Hello? For station, come in. For station, do you copy?
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream